Oh, yeah, here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 50 Reasons to Buy and Hold MANYU. How's everybody doing? Well, interesting day, eh? Interesting day. I always like to see how resilient uh, a group of people are when they get what we call in the industry FUD, because that's how you manage that, right? That's in any investment, anything you do. It's not just like, it's not just crypto. Anything you do, there's gonna be, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt that comes up. Now, sometimes it's internal and sometimes it's external. And usually your success is based on how you manage both internal and external. Now, I'm not going to comment so much on the particulars of today, but just a kind of overall view. So, someone comes into your project or your business, whatever you're doing, and they just drop some kind of negative information, right? Hey, are you aware of this bad thing, whatever it is? Now, here's the thing that I've noticed why most people are useless is because anyone can find something that's wrong with something if you look long enough, because people are involved. That's just a fact. So that's why it's about mitigating risk in basically anything you're investing in. But at the end of the day, if you're going to just point out something that's wrong and not provide a solution, then you actually don't really care. And why should I listen to you? But that's what we're into. So many people come in let's say, oh, are you aware of bundled wallets? Are you aware of this lock? Are you aware of this? Um, and then they'll just point out things and offer no solutions. So here's your thing: if they're not involved in your project, who cares? Just like, who cares? If they are involved in their project, they're insane, because no one with half a brain publicly fuds their bag. Why? Because you're invested in it. And the whole world of investing is based on perception. And so you're not going to mess with that perception if you care about your bag. That's just a fact. If you have issues, there's ways to deal with that. That's why companies have infos at, right? There's ways to connect and deal with issues. But even that, if someone comes and they see an issue, if they're not actually offering a solution, like, hey guys, I saw this, now we don't know the details, but da da da, the team may want to do such and such and such. Okay, that's fine. That's legitimate. That's balanced. But again, if you're not offering a solution, I don't need to listen to you at all. And generally, as we know, no one handles FUD like MANYU anyway. So that's the first reason why you should hold MANYU, because you got a bunch of diamond balls with with a voice that know how to manage fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's huge. And if you're new to crypto now, I've been, a lot of guys message me on the back end, just to chat, and that's cool. We talk about crypto. I've been in it for a long time. But if you're new, you got to learn how to manage that, right? When someone's spitting out fake facts against what you've invested in, you gotta you gotta learn how to hold down your emotions to not just respond to any text on your screen. Very important to do. But let's get more into our little MANYU channel. I'm not talking energy. I'm not talking anything cool other than I did have to talk to my mother today, which is always funny. She's like, I was talking to her about, a project we're working on, this new power density, and she's like, now I don't want to hear about you electrocuting yourself. I did not tell her that the level of density we're dealing with would not electrocute me; it would actually vaporize me. So I don't actually have to worry about electrocution. But a mother's thoughts of her son being vaporized is probably not the best thing to drop on her before Christmas. But let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. So, MANYU, beautiful MANYU, precious, sweet little MANYU. Let's just do some facts. Like I said, 50 reasons why you should hold it. First of all, guys, listen to this, okay? 90% of projects in crypto, 90% of projects in crypto rug or die. 90%, guys. Again, we're just spitting facts. That's all we do. 90% of projects rug or fade. I actually developed a metric, which we're going to get into at the end. I ran some math for MANYU just to see where we are stats wise, and we kick ass, just so you know. Okay, so when you're looking to invest, right, you've got to understand 90% of you see 10 projects, nine of them are going to rug or fade. That's crypto facts. You look at 100, 90 of those are going down, baby. So you need to DYOR, right? That's what we say. Good thing to look at. Market cap, valuation, right? If I'm getting into a project, I like some X's personally. I have, long-term holds. I got some ETF stuff. I got larger sums that move slowly, but I like high-powered things. I like velocity. I like energy. I like flipping tens and flipping hundreds and 1,000 X's. I like that. That's what I'm in crypto for. So I like getting under 50 mil. That's just a personal thing. And look at this. We're sitting at what, 22, 21? Beautiful. This is a beautiful time to get into MANYU right now. You can move into some really nice X's, and we're going to look at the percentage of people that get 10X, they get 100X. And guys, our metrics are double the average. Okay, we're double. Just saying, I'll get into them specifically, but MANYU. So I'm coughing so much. I had a freaking Greek salad dressing. Oh my God. God bless the Greeks. But that's a huge thing. Okay. So you're getting in MANYU at a beautiful time. Obviously, we pretty much bottomed out this past week. That's what I look for. Awesome time to get in, start getting some traction here. And another thing you want to look for, okay, you want to look for trading volume. That's huge. Trading volume and liquidity. Personally, I'm always looking for something hitting at least over 1 million daily. I don't want to see 100K. I want to see movement. And that's what we see. Actually, MANYU's 24-hour volume, 5.51 million. That's what MANYU's done in the last 24 hours. That's great. And as we know, when MANYU launched, we exploded with insane trading volume over that first month. We smoked Pepe. Pepe had 240 million in their first month. We had 300 million, guys. 300 million. So we smoked Pepe. And some people are going, well, why aren't we as high as Pepe? Why aren't we as high as Sheep? We talked about this last time a little. In 2021, there were 20,000 tokens that were coin market cap was tracking. Okay, 20,000 tokens that coin market cap was tracking. Here in 2025, there's 26 million, guys. Okay, that's insane, right? And no wonder we've got 90% of tokens fail. We've got a massive liquidity dilution situation going on. And so projects have to work 1,000 times, literally 1,000 times harder to become, viable in the mess that I think, Pump Fund really created. Frickin' bastards. Anyway, next thing you want to look for is token supply distribution. MANYU is beautiful for that. We know we've got really actually good distribution. People always talk about bundled wallets. For me, if for example, if Elon Musk did not own a certain percentage of shares in his company, right? His company's screwed because he's the visionary. It's his baby. He has to carry it. It's on his shoulders. It's his reputation. Okay. I'm the same way, right? Our company, we'll probably go public in the end of 26. And so I'm going to be carrying, 51%. Because it's my baby. And that's the thing. People go, well, in crypto, what about there's oh my God, there's bundled wallets. Who gives a flip if the team's legit? You want them to have a large amount of the supply. You want them to be controlling it. You don't want it to be in the hands of some, sexes, right? You want it to be in the hands of the team if the team's legit. And guess what? MANYU's team is damn too legit to quit. All right. Another thing you want to look for, obviously, holder count, on chain activity, right? We've got over 10,000 active active holders. Now we've obviously got, we're like almost at 35,000, right? We're just like pennies away from 35,000 holders, but we've got, just tracking the metrics, we've got over actually 10,000 people. See, this is why I love being in the Army chat, right? The MANYU Army chat, which is our shilling chat. If you're not in that, I recommend you getting in that, because there's so many guys in there that are shilling and just throwing MANYU all over the web, and they're not really in the main TG chat. All they're doing is shilling. I love that, and there's so many good guys there who just don't get mentioned. So I drop in there every so often and say, "Yo, what's up, boys? You're awesome." But that's something to check for, and we've got that. We've got over 10,000 holders who are active, and as we looked at last time, guys, that's a key metric to retaining people, to putting you in that 80 percentile success rate. We're there, we're locked in, right? And obviously we're sitting at just under 35,000 holders in 4 months, so that's pretty awesome. Other things you want to look for: community engagement. And Preston, I don't need to talk about that. We know MANYU's viral. We've done it so many times. So many times. If we win things, we're a beast. We show up in other people's spaces, and they go, "Oh, damn, MANYU's here." That's just how it is. Everyone's looking at that. Other things I look for: you want to look for exchange listings, accessibility. How can I move my money? Because at the end of the day, right, it's about moving money. And we've got that. We've got KuCoin, HTX Mix, right? We've got bridge to BSC based Solana, right? Obviously, ETH based BSC. So we're happy there, right? We're happy. You can move your money. You can move your MANYU. You've got the MANYU card, the Zivit cards that came out. So you can move your MANYU, you can move your money, you can put money in, you can take it out. No issues there, right? It's not like it's just one. It's just all hanging out on Uniswap, right? beware beware when it's just in one place. And then obviously a big thing I look for personally when I'm investing: who's the frickin' team? Who? Because again, you're not investing in a token. I wish we could just say we are, but you're not. You're investing in um, the whole vibe. Horrible word, but sorry, it's my generation. The whole vibe, and that's what we've got with this beautiful team here, right? We've got just a phenomenal team. I'll tap back into that in just a sec. And then other things I want to look for: I want to see if there's a roadmap, if there's utilities, but not just that. Have they been executed? And we have to understand that when things are rolled out, for example, like we all love the when Binance, when OKX crap. If you're an idiot, when the market's low, you're going to launch and your token on Binance, because all you're going to do is get a temporary flash hype. And because the market's actually not moving in an upward trend, you're not going to have the liquidity coming in. You're not going to have people coming in that are going to sustain that pump. So you're going to just crash. So it's really good, guys. It's actually a good sign that you haven't seen any huge um, exchanges come in really in the last few weeks, because obviously the market's not been what people thought it was. And the US, we had a huge, the government was on hold, right? Everyone's just chilling. And now that that's opened, we're starting to obviously see the pump I expected when it opened. And then, like I said, with the move of the um, 4-year to a 5-year cycle, which it is, we're going to see a Q2 2026 peak, and when everything's setting up for that right now, right? BTC's up, ETH is up, and when you look at the BTC and ETH chart, and we talked about this, guys, we had, we didn't have this in 2021, 2017. We didn't have the institutional buying billions. So now we're seeing, S&P 500 correlations with BTC that we just didn't see before. So we have to recognize we are in a new day for crypto, where institutional really affects memes. And it's a crazy thing to say, but all the markets are aligning. So in order to counter that, your teams now, and I'm talking billion-dollar teams. Yeah, you can make a few X's, make a few thousand. But I'm talking the billion-dollar teams, like MANYU is. They have to align themselves differently. They have to be taken seriously in a new way, right? We're not just killing Doge, right? We got to do something new because everyone's been there, done that over the last 4 years. So it's we're lining up good. And so let me get into these other key points. We're just going to throw it a ton, but again, all reasons, 50 reasons to invest in MANYU. We've gone through probably 10 already, but right now what we're seeing, the BTC ETH, the ETF inflows right now, guys, man, have reversed. It's pretty awesome. So people are throwing money in to the ETFs, right? Exchange traded funds. If you don't know what ETFs are, all that is it's stock options for BTC or ETH that you can purchase. It's tied to actual BTC and ETH that a company owns, like say BlackRock, and then it follows pretty close within usually about 0.5% the market there. And so that's they're ramping up like crazy, which is awesome because so many people, when BTC dipped under 100, so many people are like, oh, this is it. And as we know, right, it's not it. It's just not it. uh, no, BTC is the gold standard, right? It's the only gold standard right now. Gold is not the gold standard. You're not going to throw a brick of gold in your backpack and try and buy milk with it, guys. Sorry, you're just not. So Bitwise, they're opened up the Doge ETFs, which is pretty freaking awesome, right? So some dog themed ETFs are showing up here in November. And when people start thinking about dogs, they're going to start thinking about, man, I wonder what the next one is. And they're going to freaking find MANYU. And that's where we're going to be with open arms and open paws. We're here for you. We understand you've been rugged by 90%. You've you've been destroyed out there. Come home to MANYU, baby. We got a warm lap. We got a spot by the fire. I'll put a freaking log on. You can cuddle up. It's gonna be nice. Just ride the wave into the rainbow, baby. Um, I love it. That's where it is. So right now we're sitting at right around 22 million. Our fully developed market cap matches. You want to make sure that lines up. Like I said, we've got 5.51 million in our trading volume the last day. We've gone up by 30%, 31% in the last 24 hours. Why? Because MANYU can't be stopped. Anytime you fade MANYU, someone will eat your freaking lunch, and that's just a fact. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen because there's people who watch for stupid people and then they buy their positions. So don't be stupid, right? You're in a blue chip project, right? You're in a project that's merging Web 2, Web 3. No one's done it, okay, guys? No one's done that. We've been here so long, we actually forget that the MANYU dog, the owner, actually had the MANYU logo in a video. We forget that, and you think that means something? Well, I guess you'll find out, won't you? You'll find out. So obviously, in the first month, if you missed the beginning, right, we had over 300 million Dex volume in that first month. We smoked Pepe by 60 million, guys. That's phenomenal to do. Okay, because remember, right, 20,000 coins in 2021. 26 million in 2025. It's a little harder to do things now, just a bit, like 1,000 times freaking harder. And we still smoked Pepe. And that's really hard to do. Anyway, good reason to buy MANYU. What's that show you? It shows you there's something about it that captures the imagination, right? People can see wealth, they can see prosperity, and you want to get in on that. When people start seeing, you can see it too, man. Holders, obviously, huge thing, right? We're almost 35,000. We hit 23,000 within a month. It was just insane, right? And we've had steady growth. We've had absolutely steady growth, and actually, we've really picked up our holder count recently. And we smoked Nero. Nero was at 25.4. And we smoked them. So God bless Nero, but they're behind us. And you go, well, their market cap's so big. Again, we're doing things in a totally different market. Nero didn't have to worry about ETFs, and Nero didn't have to worry about institutional billions messing with Bitcoin. But what Nero didn't have is the team we have, the Web 2, Web 3 merger, the sort of perfect storm of massive, like the fact that CZ is now free, him getting his pardon. And we haven't even seen the full bullishness of that yet. Like he's just kind of getting his stride back. He's helping out countries get Bitcoin reserves, as you saw that today. Like he's starting to get his stride, and Trump's going to unlock him, and the whole freaking market's going to blow up. Like I'm telling you, 2026, get some new pants, get some new freaking pants. Okay, top 100 holders. They're not moving. They're not shifting. They're just stacking the beans, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the whales. They're the visionaries. They're the diamond balls, and they're stacking beans. We've got over 335 billion stacks in the last couple of days. Not bad. Not bad. Um, Obviously, the OG ETH ICO wallet. How can we forget that? Lest we forget that freaking wallet that bought 36 beans. That's fantastic, right? Them coming in. We want to see that. We want to see that level. We want to see that mystique. I want to see that, damn it. I want to see that stuff. And did you know there's only like 64 of those wallets that are still inactive? Like it's very, very, very rare for an ETH ICO wallet to get involved. And so you have to be like, it doesn't mean anything. Well, you're dumb. It means freaking everything. Okay. Yeah, holder velocity picking up, listed on 9 6 in the first month. KuCoin. Okay, yeah, obviously we know about HTX. If you didn't know about HTX is basically like, I don't know, are we besties? It seems like we're besties. We're kind of besties. Let's just say we're besties, right? Not bad, not bad. Having HTX and besties. Chainlink, right? Our partnership with Chainlink. Hello, Chainlink. If you're not following Chainlink, follow Chainlink. They are becoming the beating heart of every freaking institution on earth that's moving money. And we have a partnership with them. What will that look like? I don't know, but it's probably going to look like the Watcher making big beans while the Jeets make Zippo. That's what it's going to look like. I love just facts. Like you're insane if you fade MANYU. You're actually insane. Okay, let me just say that you're freaking insane if you fade MANYU. Right? We've trended on CMC multiple times. Multiple times. We trended higher than ETH trended on CMC. You show me how many projects do that when it's a red market. Yeah, you'll get memes that pump up in the green market and they're there for a minute. We trend higher than ETH regularly when it's red. Oh, probably nothing. Yeah, probably everything, you bastard. We trend on Phantom. We trend on crypto news. We trend on Binance. We trend on Twitter. Sorry, X. Good God, Twitter. Our YouTube campaigns, right? We're reaching over 1 million subscribers with that, with all the different ones we're using. Obviously, our Trav that was in, our Kid and Walter show. They're just jumping in. What other just average, not average humans spaces are epic now. Like they're gonna be it is the standard. Who am I kidding? It is the standard, right? It is the standard, and no one can touch it. But Kid and Walt, they just jump in. They jump into our spaces when we have them. HTX just jumps into our spaces. Probably means something. These are things you got to look for. Are they jumping into other people's spaces just saying, hey? No, they don't do that. They don't do that. MANYU's got the respect on X. That's valuable. Valuable. You can't earn that any other way unless you're real, right? Like I said, 90% of projects fail. 90%. Obviously, Matt Wallace. We've got MANYU Fun, right? Going. And you know what? There was a comment. I forget who it was, but it was in one of the spaces the other day, and it's true. What MANYU has set up is usually what most tokens finish with, but they're getting all these things in place so that when it's running, like when it's time to really run this baby, all those things are already there. All the bugs are worked out, right? They're already doing the swap. They're already doing the token launch thing, right? And people talk about, well, it's gasless and not gasless. And like I say, myself, I actually like when a team has to pay a bit up front. I hate free launches myself, right? Because I know it's going to be 90% of you weirdo devs, and you don't care. And you got no money, and you're going to take everybody's money because you got no money. So I like a dev team that pays up front. Personally, I would like a paywall for launching tokens. That's just my 2 cents. Um, yeah, MANYU debit card with Zebic. Pretty freaking cool. So many ways to offload your crypto. You don't just have to go through a SEX and P2P, right? Hey, if you want to come to the Watcher directly, I'll buy your MANYU. We can talk. But MANYU debit card, right? Partnered with Zebic. And so that means you can move and it's also linked to MasterCard. You can move your MANYU, right? You can buy some nibs and M&Ms when you're going to the movies, man. And who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to do that? We mentioned Chainlink again. That needs to be its own night. I'm gonna actually try and have a spaces with Chainlink. I'll let you know how that goes, but I want to talk about them and someone else. We'll try and get them all in. Our full IP ownership, guys. Full IP ownership. Wow, that is huge. Do you know how many memes own their IP? Like 8. In 26 million tokens, there's like 8 that own their IP. That's important. Maybe you should think about that. Not only do we own our IP, we've got copyrights in Europe, we've got copyrights in America. We just own it. And that's what you want to see. You want to see a team backing up their words with action. And that's what we've seen. People go, yes, would we all love to see more action in the last month? Of course. Could it have killed the project? You better believe it. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to launch in Binance when the market's red, because there's the correlations between the main money and the meme now is more correlated than it was in 2021. You want to launch when everyone's happy and spending money and just throwing the dice. And so you want to do that when it's green, right? And that's the signs to me of a smart team, not just people who are like, oh man, everyone's getting nervous. Let's just throw out a sex listing. Let's just, list on Binance anyway. No, good God, I don't want that. Because again, we're going to billions. We're going to 50, 100, 200. There's actually really no limit because they're setting everything up the right way, right? You got IP, you got copyright, you got everything in place. You got everything in place. We got partnerships, right? Sundog, TRX. We got Houdini Swap. What the heck? Why are you not bullish enough? Why have you not bought more during this talk? Are you out of your mind? Buy more. Oh my God, that is financial advice. It's just it's crazy. We're gonna win. Wag me. We are gonna make it. Woo! Okay, that was 50. That was 50 things we went through. I know I'm trying to do this fast so that you can just, recover, maybe listen to it again and go, "Oh my God, it's freaking amazing." But a couple things to finish with, a couple things to think about, okay? Data. Let's talk about some data, right? Things we got coming up, right? We've got some governance talk. Now, we'll see what that means, right? The community having more influence. They talked about NFTs. They talked about all that stuff. But again, these have to line up with the market, because whether we like it or not, the market is one now. We are all united. When ETH and BTC, PAMP, MANYU follows, we're all one. Now, like I said, we are setting up to be independent because we can bridge the Web 2, Web 3, and that's not easy to do, right? But we are doing it. That's the plan, right? Then the normies will come in and everyone will be happy. Like I said, they'll come up. They're out there in the world. They're getting rugged. They're getting taken advantage of. We'll have a nice fire going. They'll be able to curl up on our rug, nestle down next to MANYU, and everybody will be good, right? Everybody's going to be good. And so what we see a team that does what they say. That's what I love, right? We see consistent holder growth. We see consistent volume, right? That's what we need to see. We see listings and multi-chain. We've seen burns. Yeah. Do you want to see what you want to see? Guys, let the devs cook, baby. They're the chefs. Let them cook, man. Just leave the kitchen to them. Don't worry. You're going to eat. You're going to love your plate. They're not going to give you crappy dog food. You're going to get the filet mignon. Don't worry about it. Let the devs cook, right? Community engagement. That's what we're seeing. Team backing. Oh my God. Do we just need to go through the team? You just go in TG, pull up the admin list and wet your pants. It's just beautiful. And find me another admin list in any other project that's half as good, a third as good, a fifth, an eighth as good, a tenth as good as the MANYU admin team. It's amazing. You know what? I also really thought is a really good thing personally is that O'Kane is still in there. She's still kicking ass, right? As our kind of head assassin in our TG chat, man. She just kicks ass and takes names. She's been going for 4 freaking months. You find me, mods that are in chats as active as her for 4 months. Holy cow, man. I don't know if there's anything more bullish than that. That's so bullish. That she's still there taking names, and that's just awesome. So what do we got, right? We got a blueprint for success. Okay, guys, that's what we got. You are sitting in a blueprint for success, right? That's what I'd expect. And let me just give you just a couple stats here, 4 stats, and we're going to finish it off, right? So on average, right, if on average, okay, so I looked at these stats. I looked at holder growth, volume consistency, listings and multi-chain, burns and deflation, community engagement, team backing, and utilities executed. Those were 7 metrics I looked at, right, looking at different communities, and so just comparing them to the really the last year to give us the same kind of market, an honest market uh, uh, comparison. So 97% of meme coins have failed in the last year, right? 97%, guys. In 2024-25, 97% have totally failed. Only 40% make it to 4 months where we are. Only 40% even make it to month 4. Okay? That's pretty wild. So how does MANYU hold up, right? Well, our stats, right, to make it to month 4, we're actually hitting at 83.8% based on, like I said, those 7 metrics: holder growth, volume consistency, listings, multi-chain, burns, community engagement, team backing, utilities executed, right? So we're sitting at 83.8%. As far as our chances of making it based on those 7 factors versus everyone else is only at 40%. So we're twice as strong as any other project. How many projects? 100% of the other projects, bastards. That's how many. 100% of the other projects we are stronger than. And we have an 83.8% survival rate based on those 7 metrics. Everyone else is at 40%, guys. Everyone else, we're twice as strong. How about how many make it 12 months? 20% of projects make it 12 months. 20% of projects make it 12 months. What's our percentage to make it 12 months? What's our chances, right? Based on those 7 metrics, right? Everyone else is at 20%. What's MANYU at? MANYU's at 41.9%. We're 2.1 times stronger than every other meme token in the world. How many meme tokens? Millions and millions and millions and your mother. Okay. What are the chances of us 10xing from 22 mil? That's a good question, right? Based on those metrics, right? Holder growth, volume consistency, listings, burns, community engagement, team backing, utilities executed. We're comparing this to all the tokens in 24-25. What are our chances of 10xing from where we are, 22 million? The average uh, chances for project, they got a 5% chance. We're sitting at a 10.5. You go, oh, that sounds crazy, just 10%. No, that's double. We're twice as strong. That's what the metric's showing us. In every single metric, MANYU is twice as strong as every single project. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 projects, guys. I'm talking about every project in 24 and 25, right? Every project in 24 and 25. There's 3% of meme projects that make it. We are the strongest in 100% of the meme projects. And then the 100x, right? There's a 1% chance that if you make it through all those metrics, that you're going to 100x from a 22 mil. 1% chance on average, right? That's the average. We're sitting at a 2.1%, right? 2.1. Again, that's actually huge, that we're double the average. You've got twice as much chance to 100x from 22 mil than any other project. Where? On the whole freaking blockchain, everywhere. ETH, BSC, Base, it doesn't matter. you've got twice as much chance to 100x from 22 mil with MANYU than any other project. That's just a fact. The data talks. How many we run a Monte Carlo, right? Just means you run a ton of simulations on this. We ran 839 simulations on the math because I freaking love math. 839 sims, and we are smoking every other metric. Okay, that's just how it is. So, quick reminder: MANYU kicks ass. You need to buy more. We are mooning whether you like it or not. You can come with us. We always have a place by the fire. But that's it. These are the facts. Strap in, bitches. Let's roll.